Sean, very good to see you. I have an important question. Do you need life insurance if you're retired? I think a lot of people wonder if they really need it, and their hesitation makes sense, right? You're no longer working, the kids are probably grown and out of the house. You just don't have the same financial responsibilities that you did when you were younger. So, what do you think? Do people need life insurance if they're retired?
Aaron, that's a great question. And I think in many cases, life insurance can play a very important role in retirement. Traditionally, we buy it to protect our families. That's often when we start thinking about it when we're really young. And then other times you can use it to produce income in retirement. But let's just look at the basic death benefit that life insurance might provide a retired couple. That might be, 100, 200,000, maybe $300,000, whatever they purchase. But that can come in. It can be very powerful when one of the spouses, when one of the couple dies. Typically, on average, we see Social Security income cut in half when a spouse passes away. It's not always exactly 50-50, but it's cut in half. The problem is your income is cut in half, but your expenses by and large have stayed the same.
Hmm.
Your property taxes are the same. Your electricity is going to be largely the same. Heating your home is going to be the same. Maybe buying a little less food and some other things, but we typically see a big drop in income and expenses that remain stable. So if you have a life insurance policy in place, it will help that surviving spouse make up for that lost income for a number of years.
And I know you value helping families create a lasting financial legacy, which, of course, life insurance can very much help ensure.
It absolutely can. From a legacy perspective, you can use life insurance to pass on what you want to your children or your grandchildren. There's a tremendous amount of leverage, is what we call it in life insurance. So if you were to spend $100,000 on a life insurance policy, depending on your age and health, you might get $1 million in benefits. So as a couple, you could buy, or even an individual, buy a life insurance policy for X amount of dollars that will then pass on to your heirs for Y amount of dollars. So you're able to take a small amount of money, increase it to a large amount to then pass on. Of course, what that does for you as well is it leaves more money in your pocket
Mm.
as a retiree to spend and make sure that you enjoy your retirement.
Hmm. And when you're retired, of course, healthcare is often your biggest expense, and we have to talk about the expense of long-term care specifically, Sean. 7 out of 10 people will need long-term care at some point, and as you can see in your area of New Hampshire here, that will range anywhere from $6,100 to $18,000 a month. This is projected out, about 10 years, but that's why you say people should consider life insurance with a long-term care rider.
I think that that's a very important thing to consider. $18,000 a
Right.
month. I mean, just think about that. That's a lot of money. So if you were able to buy a policy, some type of policy that will provide a death benefit should you pass, so you can take care of your spouse, or a long-term care rider, which is then going to pay for your cost of care. It's typically going to cover cost of care in a skilled nursing facility, a nursing home, or even home health care. Because think about that. $18,000 a month, what that'll do to your finances. If you can get that coverage to help at least offset some of that expense, it'll then help preserve the assets that you've worked so hard to save. And if you do pass, it will leave your spouse hopefully with more money in their savings versus having to spend for that long-term care out of pocket.
I'm really glad we got to talk this through because I do think a lot of people will learn a lot from it. Sean, if somebody has questions though about designing a policy, what's the best way to reach you?
Oh, please call us at 603-715-2335 or go to our website. We've got a lot of good information there, and you can schedule time for a call or a meeting with us. That's daviswealthmgmt.com.
All right, Sean, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.